Joe, when Will comes back, do we kick him out of his normal chair and leave you over there? Or are you going to come back over to the dark side?
I'll come back over to the dark side because I can't be on the same side as Will. That's just not going to happen.
Joey and Will are like oil and water.
Really?
Just, yeah.
Max,
I mean,
we love each other.
We've all been best friends. Yeah.
Right.
But not when it comes down to sports.
It's not like me and my gang. That's how we are.
Yeah, you know, it's like there's when the planets align and they see eye to eye, it's a wonderful thing. Willie Guns, I know you're out there. I know you're going to see this. I love you. But I mean, it makes for good theater when you can ask Taylor. There's been some interesting...
Willie Guns, I know you're out there. Come bring it, bitch.
Yeah, there's definitely been some interesting shows that we've had. Nice. All right, let me see here. That Scorso Spotlight was brought to you by PNC.
Mike.
Yeah, don't mind if I do. Thank you, Giuseppe. Threw another water in there for Pat, too, in case you ran out of the first one.
There's another water in here.
I did. Threw another water in there for Pat.
Do you want another water, Pat?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And I do have more out in the truck, so we needed you make a run.
Shoot goes.
Sure, James. Throw caution to the wind.
Go with God, son. Ever since the laptop fiasco, I print out my show prep now.
Every day. Every Monday.
I don't even trust my laptop anymore. It's done.
Every Monday, my good man. I don't blame you. Let's see, Fort Filler.
The only pain in the ass is I can't have my websites like I usually like.
All your porn.
That too, but still.
Do you hear that, Sarah?
That too.
He's looking at the dancing girls when you're at work.
Well, she knows. This is not news to her.
She knows your browser's password?
No, I didn't say that.
The YouTube,
YouTube
channel's PG-13.
There's some cleverness to my deception.
That's all right, Joey. I understand.
She'd also have to figure out how to access to YouTube in order to find this video.
YouTube? I get no porn on YouTube, Joey. I've been trying for years.
No, I mean me saying this.
Oh, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah doesn't do the YouTube.
She doesn't know. Yeah.
Touchdown, Ben Roethlisberger. Antonio Brown, baby. I'm doing horrible.
What's Connor doing?
Nobody cares.
Connor. I care.
You do any fantasy football or anything?
No one. He's sitting on a bench.
I played
one time.
I played one time, and I got all the way to the Super Bowl, and I choked. I said, "You know what? I'm never playing again," because we just did winner takes all.
Oh, you did a suicide pool, huh?
No, I did a pool. I did fantasy, and I got all the way to the Super Bowl. I got all the way to the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
And I choked. And I said, "You know what?
It happens."
I won money. I won money on two golf.
So did I.
Yeah.
I came in third on the first one.
Yeah.
The fourth round, the early day. I'm like, okay. I mean, I picked Tiger in the PM. It's just him. I had Phil Mickelson, and I think he killed me.
It's NBC Sports Philly is inviting me to stream the Phillies-Rockies game right now. I think I'd rather stream live meeting at this point in my illustrious career.
It's not even worth it, dude.
Flyers are down 4-0 to the Bruins.
Jesus.
All is right in the Philadelphia sports landscape. Welcome
Back to norm.
But you know what? The Eagles won the Super Bowl, and that's all.
Amen.
Hell yeah. And the Wentz wagon is back.
It's underway, and it's not sinking anytime soon.
And I'll take it from the 4th and John people. The Ginger Jesus.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
He did some Harry Houdini.
Oh, dude, it's what he does.
Is there any
You
question
look like you never
now?
got hurt, man.
Is there any question now? Well, leave it alone.
That's
Move.
Mr. Wentz.
And you know, you hate to give pride to a cowboy, but Moose said it best. He's like, nothing that doesn't seem to be anything wrong with his knee
That's
now.
such a great callback. Moose, Dick, back to you.
Fletcher Cox. Long Cox.
Long, long.
Oh God!
I like that he plays with his name like that. Too. I think that's cool. Let me go sit in front of this guy.
Fox was like, "Yep, this is perfect."
Put him in a bedroom.
See, now if we could just get the other parts of that dartboard, it would be the perfect dartboard for me because it's like enlarged.
There you go, Joey.
You a big dart guy?
Well, I used to play darts with this guy and a couple other people, and they used to think, okay, how's the blind guy keeping up with us?
Then I would have to remind them that you're not legally blind. Well, in one eye.
That's
right.
That's messed up.
Well, I'm legally blind in both, but I'm totally blind in one now.
Oh, okay. Hey, if you don't have douchebag friends, who do you got? You know what I mean?
Nah. I got plenty
There's
of
a lot of
those.
douchebag friends out there.
Keeps the world going around.
It does. It does. It keeps things interesting, that's for damn sure.
Who's winning that game?
Appreciate you coming in, dude.
Huh?
Appreciate you coming in.
Oh, thank you.
No,
Thank you.
I just...
I thought you said, are you coming in?
No. I just wanted to, you know...
Yeah, I know. I appreciate you bringing me.
Yeah, man. That's we're pretty low
dream
key.
come true.
We're pretty low key here. It was for me too. When it goes that like that.
Oh, Mike's dead.
We're getting ready.
Showtime.
Ready?
Get ready to rip into it.
It's Monday. You know what that means.
Eat a dick.
There you go, Joey.
How's that? Make fun of me because of my
Your
show
catchphrase.
call. But everybody remembers it, don't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Embrace it.
I do. I do. Trust me. Trust the process.
It's a good old day it is.
If you're a Rocky fan, you know.
Oh, I love it.
what movie this is from.
I love Rockies.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show. I'm your host, Tom Kelly. We're a couple of guys down again this week. Will and Rob will be back in a few weeks. They're away for work. They may be tuned in right now. I don't know if Bob Foster's out there listening, but James Scorza,
Yep.
Joe Marks,
What's happening?
my man Taylor on the other side of the glass, making everything work on that part of the show. And in studio with us today, my main man Pat from Ambler is joining us.
What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Pat?
What's going on, my man?
Not
Happy
much.
to be here with you, gentlemen.
Dude, we're thrilled to have you. Look, I'm going to run into a couple of things real quick before I jump into a little Tiger Woods. We won't stay on it too long. I know there's not a lot of golf heads out there to listen, but look, Taylor's show. You can catch Taylor's show tonight on the Wildfire Radio at 11 o'clock. The Microphonies. Check those guys out. They always put together a really great show. I also wanted to remind everybody that we got 2 live remotes coming up next month. The Pattison Ave Phanatics Show will be down at the Link October 7th. from 12 to 4 with some other fine programs from here at Wildfire Radio. When I get some more details, exact locations and things of that nature, I'll be putting it out there. I'll put it on our social media pages as well. And then October 20th, we have a live remote. It's Sheeran Day. It's a softball tournament. It's a great day to remember a great guy from our old neighborhood, Grace Ferry, where we grew up at. The tournament itself is going to be at Vare Rec. That's at 2600 Morris Street in South Philly, in Grace Ferry. And we'll be there from 1 to 3, so we'd love it. We'd love you guys stop down and see us. We'd love to see everybody out there. Wanted to throw our social media accounts out there. Please check out the Pattison Ave Phanatics on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel. Just type in Pattison Ave Phanatics, and you can catch us on YouTube. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, Google+. And check out our T-shirt site, TeePublic, too. So also sponsorship. If you're interested in teaming up with the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show, feel free to reach out to me, Tom Kelly, on my cell, 267-333-0953. You can email me at irishtk1613@comcast.net, or you can direct message any of our social media pages. With that said, I know Joey and I are probably the only ones who were paying attention to a little Tiger Woods this week. Joey, does this mean Tiger's all the way back?
He's not all the way back, but I mean, for once, I can actually say, because I thought his career was dead and buried, and to see him win, honestly, it makes me feel like, okay, he's got a lot more gas in the tank, and for me, it kind of like revitalizes that fervor that I had for golf. I was checked out on golf for a long, long time. Tiger brings
You win half of the country.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the gallery that followed him to 18 the last day? I mean, it was enormous. It was like a stadium, or a quarter of a stadium emptied out, and was following this guy as he was going to capture his championship. And it's just amazing to see him at this age and at this perspective where he was. His last major was in 2003 with the U.S. Open. I mean, 10 years.
10 years, man.
Yeah,
10 years difference between wins and majors.
Yeah.
This guy, not only is he due, but he must feel like the monkey is off his back.
His last tournament that he won was 2013. So it's been a while. Well, look, I had just one more Tiger Woods question. Do you think he's past Jack? Do you think he's past Jack? I think he needs one more major under his belt, and then I think he ekes by him, just because you got to balance majors and total tournaments won.
So majors, he's 3 behind Jack.
Yeah.
So if he gets one more, despite not surpassing,
Jack, it's the same LeBron Jordan 6 rings.
But this is what I'll bring up. He's 7 over Jack as far as total wins.
Yep.
And in my perspective, that means he's surpassed Jack now.
Yeah, he's 2 behind Sam Snead for the all-time record.
Listen, majors and wins, I mean, if you go out there to play golf, if you're going out there to put your name on the card, then you're playing golf. You're playing golf competitively. And for a guy to be 2 off the all-time leader in Sam Snead at 82 for the most wins as a PGA golfer, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll ask this question to you, T, because I don't know golf this way. So there's PGA, and then there's the PGA when you're older,
senior PGA Tour. Yeah, they don't call it that. It's
right, but that's the senior PGA. So does Tiger? Okay, so this is a general question.
Are you asking me if the wins carry over?
No.
Oh, okay.
What I'm asking is there an age cutoff? I'm
not sure. I'm not sure what it is.
Because I'm curious, if Tiger plays until he's 50, I mean, he's going to surpass everybody.
Oh, I think he's going to play longer than until he's 50.
Well, I agree, but will it count for the PGA or the senior PGA? There's a lot of things that I want him to have the career.
I'd have to do a little research on that one.
But I'm just curious because I see this guy surpassing Sam Snead. I see him surpassing and going down in the annals as one of the best golfers of all time.
Absolutely. Well, look, like I said, I wouldn't have given it its due justice, their due diligence, if I didn't bring up Tiger a little bit. Also, I want to say rest in peace to Tommy McDonald. I wanted to get that. I wanted to make sure it was said. get out of the way.
Absolutely.
Let's get into some Phillies talk real quick, and I'm going to throw this one right to Pat. We're going to put him right on the spot since we brought him in, and now we're past the golf. I know Pat doesn't watch much golf, but Pat, in your opinion, what is the biggest reason for the Phils' collapse this year?
I'm going to go with, you know what, Gay Kapler and Matt Klentak, they brought in all these guys, you know, supposed to fill in the bats, and they didn't pan out like they're supposed to. They brought in Cabrera, they brought in Wilmos, they brought in Jason Bohr, and those guys didn't pan out either. I mean, those guys were supposed to help us, you know, to take over the first Clinton spot, and they really didn't pan out like they were supposed to. Even Joey Bats, you know, it was here and there. I mean, listen, I know Scott Kingery's young, and I know they were looking, you know, to replace him, but I mean, you really didn't pan out like your plans and goes. They're where you're supposed to. So I mean, that's where it all. I mean, and then also too, Gay Kapler also, he was just jumping, you know, putting guys here. But you know, he's putting Reese Hoskins at 2, then he's batting 4th, and then he's batting 8th, and you know, the guys were all over the place. Then you're putting
that's just bad time. I mean, bad management. Actually.
Yeah, and exactly what Pat was just saying was pretty much my answer. Was there was no continuity in the lineup. Guys didn't know where they were batting, where they were playing, if they were playing from night to night. And in my opinion, that's probably one of your biggest factors as to your collapse.
When they started to add these pieces is around the All-Star break, and they went 25 and 35 since the All-Star break. They've had a losing record, a very tremendous losing record since those pieces have been brought on. Look, when you have these young guys, they're going to make mistakes and they're going to go through their growing pains. But they proved in the beginning half of this season that they can actually try and excel. And I think when you take out those pieces and put in these unproven pieces in this lineup, then it starts to like muck up the system. You tried to tinker too much with the lineup, so much so that you thought you were doing good and you really were doing bad.
And it was a different lineup every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys are upper management, does Kapler get another year if you're running the Phillies? If you're Matt Klentak, does Kapler get another year?
He's got to get another year. You got to give him at least 2 years to see what he's got. I mean, listen, he gave you a baseball full summer. I mean, a summer full of baseball.
Sure.
I mean, you weren't sticking home watching Ray Donovan or Game of Thrones, rewatching those shows. He actually gave you some baseball, something to look towards. You were in a pennant race, and it was exciting. I mean, to me, if I was him, you know, I would just. To me, this is my opinion, but I liked having Quinn because Quinn reminded me of a young Jimmy Rollins. I would let him be my leadoff hitter for my next period of time, for next season.
Absolutely, and if you look at it, great managers are not managers. I'm sorry, great front office guys, GMs, are tied to the coaches that they bring in. Right. So if Klentak cuts him after 1 year, it's almost admitting you were wrong.
Right.
And I think all of us as fans who observe this realize guys in the front office aren't going to admit they're wrong that soon. They're going to ride it till the wheels fall off in a fiery car wreck.
I mean, you got to kind of keep in mind of this. I mean, Kapler did one thing that hasn't been done in a long time, which is having the Phillies have a winning season. I mean, that's the thing is he's not coming out just because they didn't make the playoffs and become an unsuccessful season for Kapler. Kapler did do something successful with this team. Not many people might see it that way because maybe we're greedy for playoffs.
And you're right, because, look, like you're just saying, we're coming off a Super Bowl. Then we're coming off the Flyers going to the postseason. And then Sixers make a little bit of a deep playoff run. And then we're so hungry. And then, the Phillies had their nice little run. And then, and I felt like Klentak was trying to add so many pieces. Now, Kapler is trying to fit in, trying to get everyone to play every single night. Here, let me take this guy at a fourth inning, and I'm going to put this guy here and this here. And he's doing way too much. He's overthinking, and it blew up in his face.
I mean, here's the thing, is for me, I think Kapler is being kind of put in a situation where you're thrown into a very scrutinized position, and he's trying to tinker with things to see what is the winning formula. And what you said earlier, James, about that there's a different lineup out there every night. I would have rather them been a different lineup there out every night if they were all young guys trying to get time.
Right.
You're not doing anything for your club if you're putting out Bautista and Ramos and you're moving them around in the lineup and Santana, because those guys may not be here next year or even in the future.
Yeah, I think the thing you should do is like start at the young, like this last week of the season, they should bring back the players that they started before they got these guys in, like the Kingeries, and they like put Reese Hoskins back at first, or like something like that is like you don't want to go on a bad note to end the season, but you don't want to end in bad fashion either.
I agree. So this particular Phillies team, what have you guys learned about this Phillies team this year?
That we need bullpen help.
Amen.
That we need to have mental stability in those fielders because they make too many mental mistakes.
That too.
I mean, you're playing ball essentially when you're having the amount of errors that they're having. You're playing ball where you could easily correct that in the beginning with spring training. When you're coming in and probably being a little bit arrogant to the fact that you guys can clean it up from day to day. You're not showing it. And I can tell you right now, one of the players that I can tell in his tone is kind of annoyed by it is Jake Arrieta.
Yep.
He's absolutely annoyed by how, these guys go about a day-to-day affair with trying to learn to improve and to, criticize themselves but learn from their mistakes. That's the point of being young and trying to improve. If these guys aren't going to do it, then you need to move on.
Well, with me, it's they need bats. I mean, everyone just recognizes that Reese Hoskins is the best bat. You need more than just Reese Hoskins.
I
like
100%
Yeah,
agree.
especially if you want to run for that pennant, you want to become a serious contender.
100%.
You know what I mean? You're going to have to go in your bank account and just take out dump trucks of money and put it right in Bryce Harper's lap for next year.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Clinton
hope that he did that when he was here last time with the rain delay, and hopefully Reese kind of nudged him in the right direction, and let's hope that goes the way that we want it to go.
Clinton needs to have his inner Howie, actually, to bring Bryce Harper in or Machado in, and actually have like a team that you can win around, like the Eagles did. Like they bring in Alshon Jeffrey and Chris Long and Michael Bennett. That's what Matt Clinton needs to do. He needs to think outside of the box and say, okay, how am I going to get Harper here? Okay, how am I going to get Arenado here? Like, I want people to come in and say, I want to come to Philly and win a championship like the Eagles did.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you take yourself back to the beginning of this season, is this where you've seen this team? Because for me personally, this is where I saw this team end of year. Mid-70s, high 70s, maybe low 80s. But this is not the direction in which I thought the route, let's say, that I thought that they would get there with. But where did you see, this team at the end of the year?
I didn't see them taking this big of a leap, but I'm happy they did. Honestly, I was probably on this show, I was the biggest, and if Will were here, he'd call me on it. I was the biggest flip-flopper when it came down to, trying to understand where this team's direction is.
What did you think? They were going to be a 100-loss team?
I did.
Wow.
I did. And look, I'm willing to admit
sad, but
that.
it's true.
I'm willing to admit that I thought that they were a 100-loss team. And then I flip-flopped and I said they were a 100-win team when we were on a hot streak. And I was like, this is looking different.
Appreciate you owning that, too.
Oh, dude, man. I listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And now, okay, so I kind of, you hit the middle ground. So they're not at 100 losses and they're not at 100 wins. So I hit dead in the middle. So I wasn't right, and I definitely wasn't completely wrong, but I wasn't right. And so, but they're ahead of schedule. And look, I just want to see growth. I think growth happens when you start to see players that are young start taking that leadership role and stop asking for it and take it. And I don't know, other than Reese, I don't know who else on this club is going to do that. That's the one thing that Jimmy Rollins kind of did. He empowered that locker room to say, okay, no one's going to hand us this.
No, he lit a fire.
We're going to have to take it, and we're going to take it.
Well, that was Jake Arrieta in the beginning when he called out Kingery.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was trying to take over the locker room, but then he was giving up cookies, and then everyone's like, well,
You can't take you serious if you're not doing your job.
Right.
Well, look, Jake Arrieta, I've seen him pitch plenty of times, both when he was in the Cubs and when he was with the Phils. And what I can tell you is he's a kind of pitcher that will sling it over the plate and you will have to cross your, do the genuflection and go, okay, please God, don't let that go out of the ballpark. Because here's the thing, he will either dominate or he will.
That's the problem,
Kill you.
man. And he's like inconsistent. Like,
Yeah.
it's inconsistency. It's like the Phillies were like that all season.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But back to your question, back to your 2-point questions. My first one would be like, that's where seriously I think the Phillies went wrong. They really didn't get serious with the free agency. I mean, Cole Hamels, he's on a hot streak out in Chicago, and he's a part of a contender now. I mean, they really didn't get too serious with free agency like they were supposed to. And number two, like, I think the Phillies, like, I thought they would probably be like third in the division. I didn't expect them to take over. I didn't expect them to sit on top of Washington this all summer. So, kudos. And then, like you said, they just didn't really get too serious with free agency, and that's when the wheels came off.
Yeah. Well, look. Now that's about all. That's about all I can deal with the Philadelphia Phillies.
Hope for growth.
Yeah. So I had some Flyer stuff all lined up, but a curveball got thrown to me this afternoon.
The damn mascot.
What on earth is going on with Gritty, the new Philadelphia Flyers
What
mascot?
is that? I don't even know.
Apparently, Jim Henson and Bill Cosby got together.
Joey, that looks like it could be like one of your long lost family members.
I'm telling you, man.
Hey.
With the fiery red hair.
Grow the beard a little bit more and the hair a little bit more. I could take the place of that guy.
I was like just talking to this with my dad last night, thinking I was like saying, "Thank God we don't have the Flyers don't have a mascot." And then 24 hours.
So
later,
you mushed.
I mushed
the
him.
plan.
I mushed him.
I'll put $100 right now. He's better than Brian Elliott in that.
Wow! There you go. There you go. Well, I like that segue. So this is the fact that Noivy and Lyon are both hurt. Does Carter Hart make the big boy club?
Come on. I know he's listening right now. Come
Yeah,
on.
right.
Marquis not gonna like it, but come on.
I highly doubt he's listening.
Listen, if he's listening, come on, bring it on.
There you
Call
go.
it in.
All right.
Hey, listen,
experience.
Call in.
Listen.
You know the number.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
the
not
number.
scared then. I'm not scared now.
I understand this guy is supposed to have, go through development and all that, but listen, if he's got all these achievements and all these accolades underneath him, he's, won every major award in college, and he's done all these good things. Come on, at some point you're going to have to put on the big boy pants. Bring them up now. Otherwise,
Yes.
you're going to head into that first round of the playoffs. You're going to see the Penguins again, and they're going to slap you around once again. I mean, Sidney Crosby did whatever he wanted to with Elliott and Neuwirth, and he made a joke out of the Flyers team. I mean, he made Gudis crap his pants, and he gave him the puck and put it in his own
That's
net.
great.
Come on.
Well, look, on the line with us right now is 1/5 of this Pattison Ave Phanatics team, who has not been here in a couple of weeks and won't be here for another couple of weeks. He's away on work with another 1/5 of our show, his brother Rob. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line with us right now is Willie Guns. Willie Guns, what's up, buddy? Yeah. You're cutting in and out. I don't have to cut you already, do I? There you are. All right. Will, say hi to my boy. That's all right. Well, we're just getting into some Flyer song. Are you there, Guns? All right, good. Will, say hi to my buddy Pat, sitting in studio with us. Pat, this is Will. He's another one of the hosts of the show.
Hey, Will, what's going on, buddy? Good. It's good to speak. Glad to speak with you, my man.
Will, we're just trying to fill your shoes until you come back, dude. It's rough finding good talent out here. We're lucky. We're lucky. The last couple of weeks we've had two stellar guys in here. But what's going on, Guns? What'd you do this Sunday for the game? You're in enemy territory. You're in the Hamptons. Fancy. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
No birds on the TV. So what are you?
kidding
What,
me?
like you're curious?
Man.
Guns, I would have live streamed it for you, dude. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of sites out there. I was going to say there's a lot of sites out there that live streaming. You definitely. I've been in that position myself where I've had to do that. So you definitely. That's awesome. Guns, I got a Flyers question for you because that's kind of where we're at right now. Dude, do you think Carter Hart makes his team? So I don't know if you've been paying attention. I know you're working, you're killing it 6 days a week or whatever. But so Neuwirth is now hurt. So you got Alex Lyon and Neuwirth's out too. So I mean, what do you think? You think Carter Hart makes a team? Yeah. Just drop it on his lap, right?
Does he become the starter or the backup?
Nice. I like it, Guns. I like. Well, look, I'm going to work. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going to work you in for the next however many minutes or so, and we're going round table. I'm just going to keep you on the line for a little bit. So. Another one was, give me your prediction this season. You don't have to go exact scores because hockey is like one of the most impossible sports in the world to predict what your final record would be. But what is your prediction for the Flyers this year? Guns, I'll start with you. Okay. Nice. Pat, what do you think? Because I know hockey's your wheelhouse.
Hey, listen, I'm with Will. If they get Carter Hart to start, I do believe they'll make the playoffs. They'll probably be a fifth to sixth seed. I believe this kid can get high. And listen, I feel like Giroux is like Larry Fitzgerald without the quarterback. You know, I mean, he needed the quarterback the whole time. So, but I mean, I feel like if he had a good goaltender to support him, he'll be on fire. He'll have the supporting cast. He's got he's got connecting, he's got Prolov. I mean, he's got guys who can move and go up and down the ice. He's got Nolan Patrick. I mean, I believe they'll be a fifth and sixth team. If you want to be serious about the Stanley Cup, you get that kid in there right now.
Yeah, I agree, James. What do you think?
I would say like what Will was saying, like about 50 wins. I guess. But like I said, with Carter, like what Will said, you got to get Carter Hart experience because like you're not gonna get him. Like if he was like playing with the Phantoms, like the first year, like the first part of the season. You're not getting them experience. You got to get them in like right now. So, I would say they might be a fight for 16 if Carter Hart's in.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are tuning in, who are friends of Pat, who might not have heard our show before, if you're just tuning in, just to tune in, we appreciate you having here. I'm going to put Joe Marks on the microphone right now, and Will, who's on the phone with us, knows. Joey usually tends to go against the grain when the entire consensus of the room is the same. So Joey, what is your opinion?
He's sticking that beard way too much.
On Carter Hart. Carter Hart coming up and starting right out of the gate, which friend of the show, Pat, myself, Willie Guns, and James all kind of feel we're along the same lines. Joe, what do you think?
All right, so I'm going to stick to exactly how you described me. I am going to go against the grain.
Oh, of course.
I think Carter Hart. I think Carter Hart's going to have a couple growing pains, but I think he's going to be a stud. I think he's going to absolutely be a stud. I have them going 42-40 for the season. If that gets him into the playoffs, that's great. I don't know if it will. I think, and here's my caveat, I say that they're going to be that record unless Hextall makes a move for a big-time player. And I feel like that there is something in the talks right now.
Nice.
That there's something with the Predators. All right.
So I know. How does Rob feel? Because I know Rob's a goalie by trade. How does Rob feel about this Carter Hart question that I'm posing? Okay, I had a feeling the goalie would say, take it easy, you know, let him kind of mature a little bit and bring him up. So look, Joey it's like Joey has somebody agreeing with him. This is weird.
Yeah, listen. Go ahead.
Ah, there it is. There it is. Robbie Silks comes through.
I mean, listen, this guy's going to get some growing pains. There's no doubt about it. But in my mind, he's a stud. And you have to cross that bridge at some point. When are you going to make the choice to say it's time to cross that bridge? When Giroux's 30, 31? When half your team is up in age? When your defensemen are hampering with knee injuries and back injuries? And McDonald's down. You know, we're bringing up younger defensemen all the time now, because these veteran defensemen that we bring in are, you know, going down hurt.
And I'm with you. Okay.
I like to see him with. I like to see him with 45 games underneath his belt.
Joey, I'm with you. I've watched this guy. I mean, like you said, he's a young goaltender. They're a young team. Take advantage of connect these legs. He's like Deshaun Jackson on ice, on skates. You know what I mean? Take advantage. I just watched this kid against the Rangers the other day. A 6-on-3 turn pucks into cookie crumbs. I mean, this guy's got vision. I mean, I don't know what other people are saying. This guy, give him time. Fams. Like
Ghost has got a rip shot. He can hit it from the corner. And the fact of the matter is like Sanheim and Hag, they both can kind of rip it up to the blue line. So, in my opinion, you have these young defensemen. You need to strike while the iron's hot.
Right, you got a young stud goaltender. I mean, look at Chicago. Look, I mean, they had Patrick Kane and Taves. I mean, they came up and they took over the lead. I mean, they got 3 cups out of the deal.
After a while, they had Tenny Panarin for a while.
Yo, don't look now, but this just turned into the Go Puck Yourself Hockey Podcast.
Yeah, Martinez.
Willie Guns, give me a hot take for your Philadelphia Flyers this year. Give me something, a prediction, not like a record prediction. Give me Willie Guns hot take. Something that nobody really seen coming. Like I'll give you an example. For me, like JVR is going to drop 30 goals this season. You know, it's something along those lines. What do you got?
Ooh.
Man, oh man.
Ooh.
Guns, did you see they brought a new captain in? The guy's name's Gritty. He's taking over from Did you see the new mascot?
At least Gritty will have nothing stupid come out of his mouth.
No, I hear you. No, I hear that.
Wow, Will, when you're away, me and you agree a lot.
This is kind of weird. Maybe it's like because where Pat's sitting, Joey. Will, he's sitting in your chair. Pat's sitting in Joey's chair, and Joey's sitting in your chair. So I don't know. Maybe it's just you two look at each other's face and you just can't stand each other's face. I don't know what it is, but this is a little weird for me. Well, so Pat, what do you got? Give me a hot take for this Flyers this year. Hot take.
Hot take. I'm gonna say this kid starts, or if not, he don't start. He'll start within 2 months.
Nice, James. You got anything for a hot take for me?
I do actually. I got JVR and Drew will probably be like good, like a 1 and 2.
1-2 punch. That's nice. James to quote Jeffrey Lurie has voluminous notes over here, so I'm very impressed by James. Willie Guns goes away for a couple of weeks, and all hell breaks loose here on the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show.
Yes, sir.
Everybody did intro notes.
That is some Ray Diddy with your tablet over there. Well, look, Guns, we're gonna jump now that I got you on the phone. We're jumping into the birds right here. What is your opinion? What is your opinion of Carson Wentz's first game back? Willie Gunn. Yeah. I disagree totally. I'm going to play the role of Joe Marks here. I think Nick Foles is. Neither did the Buccaneers, and we lost them.
The Buccaneers had 3 rookies in secondary.
Yeah, nah. Nick Foles is fried, dude. You should have traded him a while back. Nick Foles is cooked.
Ow! Wow!
It's what have you done for me lately? Bum, ba-dum, bum. I don't care that he won the
Good
Super Bowl.
Lord.
Oh no!
Well, for once, I'm saying preach.
Yeah, Ryan. No, look, Guns. I hear you.
But
No, I hear you. I know. Honestly, from the first 2 games that I've seen of Nick Foles, and this game with Carson Wentz, I would take this not ready Carson Wentz over whatever Nick Foles has been the last two prior games.
Although, Will, let me ask you a question.
Neither did Carson.
Let me ask you a question, Will. So let me ask you.
Dude, did you watch the first drive? Did you watch the game at all?
You just heard him.
I realize it's more of a. Now it's almost like he looked more rusty in the second half than he did in the first half.
Think of magic.
It was up tempo. It was a good game plan. So hey, hold on one sec, Guns. Pat, what's your what? No, you're right, Pat. What's your opinion of Carson's first game back?
Carson's great. I mean, listen, there's why that's had a tough time getting open. I mean, with Nick Foles in there, he can't extend the play. Like that's why Carson Wentz is an elite quarterback because he can extend those plays. He can do stuff with his legs. You know, he don't see a guy open. He's going to move the chains with his legs. So if the wides ain't going to move the chains, he's moving the chains with his legs. I mean, I really like to see. I mean, the short passes, the dink and dunks, getting the tight ends involved. He was peeling them off that way. He got what's that kid's name? They just drafted. They got Goddard, and they just got him involved. You know, it got him his first TD. I mean, he was on fire. I mean, look, he was a little rusty. He was just getting back in rhythm. I mean, listen, the rain might have something to do with it.
True. True.
You know what I mean? But I mean, the dude was, he's back to being on top of the world within 9 months. So I mean, I think he's going to take care of business this Sunday too.
I mean, here's the thing. You have a guy who threw for 37 times, 25 for 37, 255, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 5 times, escaped 3 times, and had 3 fumbles. The guy, it wasn't just weather, it wasn't just rust. The fact of the matter is, it was his first game in 7 to 8 months.
Right.
Nine months. So this guy is hyper. He's ready to perform.
Yeah, he sailed that first pass coming out of the game.
Right, and here's the thing. I have full confidence.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Yo, this is you're exactly
Whoa.
right. There was definitely layers of rust.
And as we say this, Will will jump on the Wentz wagon in 2 weeks.
Hey, y'all, 110%. Will come back in here.
A win's a win is a win.
Yo, did you hear anybody on this microphone say we're in great shape?
Yeah, but if you put Foles back there, he would get beaten eaten up like an alligator. I mean,
you can't look. There's definitely rust, but you can't deny the guy came away for 9 months, sailed his first pass, and then led them on a 7-minute drive down the field for the first drive.
Oh well.
And the game winner was an 11-minute drive to shut it down.
Yeah.
Yo,
You got to have the Wentz
Joe.
wisdom, brother.
yo, our first show we ever did, you hammered Carson Wentz, and you're
Yeah.
still hammering him today, dude.
He's not on the wagon
no.
yet. He wants to deny. He wants to say he is, but he's not.
I know.
We all
and
realize
We
that.
all realize that. We all watch the same things you did. There's none of that. But what I'm saying is, so even looking rusty like that, the guy comes out with the win. You've seen flashes. That's what you're going to see after somebody who doesn't play for 9 months, who's still at the level that he's at. You're going to see flashes. Now I'm not disagreeing with you that Nick Foles took us to the promised land. I'm not. I'm excited at the potential because we got a win out of it. We're 2-1. We're sitting in the same position we were last year. This upcoming week we're getting Ajayi, we're getting Sproles back. By the Vikings game, we'll have Jeffrey back. Sorry, excuse me. So I think yeah, absolutely. I think we're trending. It's not that they're breaking out, but they're trending in the right direction. Come week 5, week 6, I fully believe Carson's going to probably be back close to form. After the bye, look out. I really think that that's when the Eagles are going to start clicking on all cylinders. Again, we all know they won the Super Bowl. They played in the last game of the season last year, and then you're coming back from that hangover too. I'm really excited for Carson being back and what this potentially brings. Let me throw. Yes.
Will, go on record now. Go on record now. Carson Wentz, league MVP this year?
Yeah,
I ain't argue that.
Look. Carson missed
Couple games.
A couple of games at the end of
What I
last
tell
year.
you before, the hot teams always cool off later on.
Exactly right.
So
Right. Like, look, there's September Andy and there's December Andy.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
no, I know. I'm just saying, like, look into your crystal ball, know that he's going to hit his stride, and answer the question whether or not he's going to make league MVP. This is a guy who probably would have lost more than. Okay, all right.
Word. Well, all right. So, I kind of got a little funky question here for you. Does this year's Philadelphia Eagles defense look more like the 04 Eagles defense as far as bend and don't break than they do look like actually last year's defense? Because, like, to me, in between the 20s, I'm sitting there yesterday, I'm like, man, they remind me a lot of this 04 Eagles defense that we used to watch.
I think this defense is deeper and better.
The line. No.
No.
So
put
no. The linebacking core
You
is
put Rodney
no.
Hood against Sidney Jones?
The line what? 04?
B-Dog.
Rodney Hood. what
Not
do you-
Rodney Hood, but the third string, the third corner.
Dude, your linebackers and your corners aren't even close.
No, Sheldon was number 1.
It's
No, I know. But what I'm saying is there's more depth in this defense than there was in the 04 defense. So it helps with that bend don't break
up
defense.
front. There's more depth because they have.
I
that
feel like they
line
have better
rotation.
depth in the secondary too. I just think Sidney Jones is starting to kind of come into his stride.
I'm
that's
ready
me
for.
saying it.
I'm ready for more from him because I still haven't
I am
seen very
too.
much from him.
But if you think about Darby, Douglas,
I know. No.
Right.
No.
I agree.
I don't
But they
see
threw-
him.
but they threw
Because
at
I don't see him because I look for him. But Pat, what do you think? What do you think about, like, if you were to compare this current defensive roster to 04? Are they similar, or is it more? Do they look like last year's defense? What do you think?
I'm with you. I think they look more like last year's defense than they do the 04. I mean, like, I agree with you. I think the 04, I mean, this front four is better than the 04, but that secondary in 04, it's tough to replace. But I think they much more look like last year's defense.
Well, it's for me. it's that that linebacking core.
Yeah.
There was after Bradham and Hicks.
Say what you want though, Hicks and Bradham are doing their
No,
job.
you're absolutely right. But then, God forbid, something happens like it did last year. I really think we're in trouble. And the secondary right now, as far as continuity goes, they're still. I mean, look, Jalen Mills had a much better game, minus penalties, than he did last week. But I would as far as that 0-4 defense, James, what do you think?
I would say last year's defense.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know Will will probably tear me apart, but like the 0-4 defense with what was Michael Lewis at the other safety.
Quentin
opposite
Michael.
Brian.
I'll take-
Quentin Michael was the backup. Michael Lewis was the starter, but you had Brian Dawkins and Michael Lewis. I'll take McLeod and Jenkins over Dawkins and Lewis. I mean, I like Doc. Doc carries the team, but if you're doing both versus ones, just comparing one position.
I'm going to completely. I'm not going to say disregard your comment, but I have a man on the phone. I know how much time I have left in this studio session, and I know where we'll go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
For the next 3 weeks, we'll be talking about
I
this.
know.
I'm jumping.
We'll bring it back up later.
All right, so I'm going to put this out here, ladies and gentlemen. I, Tom Kelly, at whatever the time it is, 9:58 on Monday, September 24th, would like to apologize to Wendell Smallwood for everything that I've said about him. For save your applaud. He stepped up yesterday in a role that he was absolutely needed in.
That's because he wasn't bagging those groceries.
He was not at shopping bagging the groceries. Willie Guns, I'm going to kick this one to you, and then I'm gonna let you listen in on the last half of the show because we're winding down here. What was that exactly? Until you come back, what player impressed you from yesterday's game the most?
You're always saying Smallwood, obviously. Smallwood didn't have a
I like it. I like it. It's if you catch it on a flash, they're they kind of carry themselves a little bit similar and their running styles and stuff like that. Well, look, brother, thank you for calling in, dude. We'll do this. Yes, absolutely.
Derek Barnett, man.
Yeah, we will.
My man.
We will do this until we get you guys back in studio. Hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my man Willie Guns. Thanks, Guns, for calling in, brother. I appreciate it. Later,
Hey,
man.
my man.
All right, boys. So we, that was our man Willie Guns, who's a very prominent part, along with his brother Rob, with the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to go back real quick. Okay, because you skipped me, and I had.
Oh no, I wasn't done. I was just signing them off.
Oh,
and then I was going to come
know.
back to. Go ahead.
I had a hot take for the Flyers.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
I'm kind of eager about doing this
All right. Well,
because I could be really yes.
James, hook me up.
Because I could be really wrong, but I could be really right.
Oh, I like hot takes like this.
I predict that Gostisbehere will lead the defensive pairings in assist this year.
Interesting.
He will lead the team in assist for the defense.
I'm feeling that.
I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, I won't look at you. You thought you were going to get some pushback, but it looks like the round table kind of side with you here. I can absolutely see that happen.
Let me talk about this real quick. Actually, my Flyers hot take. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Flyers need to get scoring, just not JVR and Claude Giroux.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they should do it, actually, I mean, they should have gone after like free agents like Duchesne or Carlson or God forbid, I forgot Stamkos. But we need to get you can't rely on Giroux and JVR for just a 1-2 punch. You need to have a
balance. You gotta have a
balanced team. Exactly.
Here's the problem with that. Carlson was going to ask for like $9 million.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Stamkos was going to ask for like $8 million. those guys were going to ask for absurd money. And the reason why they were able to go to these teams that had that amount of money to available, I mean, you had the guy Tyler Seguin that just signed an 8-year, $80 million or whatever it was contract with the Sharks. And I'm like, okay, this guy knows he's going to get paid, and he's going to get paid for the rest of his career.
We'll probably never see him ever again, thank goodness.
Never. And here's the thing. That's when you have to start looking at these players like Hurdle and
I love that Don score here, man.
Landeskog and couple
Couture is another one.
Right. You have these guys that are like role players, that are key role players on these other teams that will not demand that amount of money. You need to bring those people in and start building in the core from there. But I said this before, and I'll say it again. The defensive young core that we have coming up is going to make a lot of noise. But if you don't have offensive forwards that are going to put the puck in the net, it makes no difference. And if you don't have a goalie, that's not going to stop the other team from scoring.
I agree. And would you say, like, if I know we're not in the talks with Tavares, but hypothetically, would you be in talks with Tavares if you were the GM?
Yeah, but Tavares, for what he wants, it's a dicey situation. For me, I'm not a big Tavares fan. But if you would have said to me you could get Matt Duchene or Steven Stamkos for, a bit of a discount, then I would have been more than happy to sit down at the table and negotiate. But they wouldn't have done it. That's the thing.
Right.
They both know that they need to get paid now.
Right.
All right, Tom. Back to you.
That's
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Hey, let's get back to the Eagles. Do you guys think the secondary redeemed themselves?
No.
No?
Because I think the Colts'
Yes.
offense is weak. So I don't know. We haven't played a high-powered offense since Tampa Bay. It's too short of a. You had a Falcons.
They're not playing one next week either.
That's true, but here's the thing, what Buffalo did to Minnesota, I don't know what the hell we're gonna.
I love it, man.
But Buffalo busted a lot of suicide polls, man.
I'm telling you right now, this week was like weird.
The
Browns that won their first game in 2 years.
Yep.
The Bills beat the Vikings. You had the Pats lose last night. You had the Jags lose to the Titans in like the most boring game of the week. I'm like, okay, this is the oddest week of NFL football I've seen in a long time.
The world is going to end. The Browns have a better record than the Pats.
That's a hot take right there.
They got a better record than the Cowboys too. Sorry, Sean. They're out there too.
Woo!
But they got a better record than a lot of teams right now.
Yeah. And look, they have a young quarterback that they can get behind like we do with Carson. They have Baker Mayfield that, in my opinion, is a guy that is just as versatile as a lot of other young quarterbacks.
He's a rich man's Johnny Manziel, is what he is.
Yeah,
he's got that. Exactly. That's why I said a rich man's and not a poor man.
Right.
He's a better version of what Johnny Manziel could have been.
I think if you surround him with talent offensively, and I'm not sure if you would consider Josh Gordon, them losing Josh Gordon and losing talent. I'm not sure.
I mean, the guy's played. He's drinking. He's had a cup of coffee in this league, and he's been here 5 years.
Yeah, and he hasn't done enough to merit being a superstar yet. I mean, he should have, but he hasn't. And that's the thing. Is like for when we talk about Carson Wentz and like, will he come out of what he did this past week? The fact that he eluded tacklers on 3 separate occasions that at least I could count, and was able to conduct a still effective pass and an effective play. It just boggles my mind that it's like, okay, for Will to like say, okay, I'm not completely sold. I'm completely sold that the guy's mobile again. I mean,
that's the most important.
Jesus God, man! I mean, the guy.
It looks like he never got hurt.
Right.
Right, and he didn't feel any pain. Like
No.
when he got interviewed by Sal Pal, and by the way, I love the Kelly Green blazer. I want to get one.
Looks
of
like a
those
Masters.
myself.
Looks like he won the Masters.
No, I'm serious. Like that thing is hot,
It's
man.
my favorite color.
But
Doesn't have anything to do with the last name. It's just my
the
favorite.
mics are like the Carson Wentz suit too.
Yeah. All right. So let me kick this one to Pat here. If you're the Philadelphia Eagles, if you're Howie Roseman, are you on the phone right now still looking for receivers?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you saw last week, you saw with your own eyes. I mean, Carson was struggling to look for an open man. He didn't find him until the second half with Aguilar. So, I mean, listen, I know him and Matthews are buddies, and I get all that, but he wasn't getting open. I mean, Carson had to do what he had to do what he had to do with his leg. So, yeah, I'm on the phone now. Listen, and I hear people talk about it all day. It's just kind of like a surreal situation. Hey, Niners. What can I get for? Listen, you need a quarterback. I need wideouts. Let's help each other out.
Yeah.
You can take Foles. Give me somebody from over there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but you're not going to get in.
Or
they see something that they don't want to get
And,
rid of that
and
young
if you
core.
and if you can't do nothing this
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
if you can't do nothing, listen, play the Tennessee Titans, and see what they got. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, hey Carson, hey Nick Foles, you can go play for them. Let me go. You know what I mean? I'm making a bunch of phone calls. Let's see what Tennessee Titan has. You know, let's keep an eye on their wideouts.
You know, I hate to say this too, because I hate to be right in this situation. But with the way that the Patriots are going, the direction that they're going, and I did call that Nick Foles would probably get traded to the Patriots. And the way that it's going, it's like, okay. But so, Tom,
Yeah, I remember that.
would you get Chris Hogan for Nick Foles?
Right now, Chris Hogan and maybe like a third.
That's all right. But I didn't say you couldn't have just nothing else. I just said Chris Hogan and Nick Foles.
Dude, look at you trying to rake me over the coals.
I'm not trying to rake you over.
I said to the guy one time, I said I'd take him over what we had other than Aguilar like a week or two ago. And this is before we went on the show. We're standing there, we're hanging out.
Look,
we're
I'm
talking.
just putting you on the Johnny on the spot
And
here.
there's nothing new for me as far as that's concerned.
That's
so,
fine, but my point of view is that the Patriots now have to start looking to the future, and they don't have anybody there currently that can lead them to the future.
right now, Nick didn't give anybody anything to see that. See, that's why the.
I still feel like that ring still speaks
Yeah,
volumes.
but I'm also with Tom, where it's like, once a defense gets enough time, enough videotape on Nick Foles adjusted to the RPOs or whatever game plan he has, he becomes struggle. You know what I mean? He struggles all the time, and you saw it in the Tampa Bay game. He was struggling out there. They figured him out real fast, and you know, luckily Carson Wentz came back in time, or else same thing would have happened with Indianapolis. I mean, look, they had a young core of defensive linemen. They were coming at him like deer.
So I'll ask both of you. I'll ask all three of you. Is Nick Foles, after collecting one championship, is he done? Is he done?
So to touch
Regardless.
on, let me expound on that real quick, on what you were saying as far as Nick Foles going to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Tom Brady throughout most of his career, and we're using the Hogan as one of the many examples,
Yeah, that's fine.
has done a lot with a little.
Mhm.
We just said Nick Foles didn't have the people that he had last year, and look at him through the first two games. Bill Belichick is going to see way more than what we're seeing sitting
Yeah.
at this table. There is no way, in my opinion, he would touch Nick Foles with a 39.5-foot pole. Just because he realizes that this guy's not going to be able to create on his own.
We will all probably be able to agree with this. There are certain coaches in this league that are quarterback whisperers. And Andy Reid is one of them. And he has proven, again, with Pat Mahomes, that he's the quarterback whisperer. He proved it with Nick Foles when he was here. He proved it with Donovan when he was here. He proved it with probably Doug when he
Kevin
was
Cobb,
Yeah.
Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, he proved it with several people down the delineation. People would also probably say, I'm not sure if any of them live in Philly, that Bill Belichick is a quarterback whisperer. Because Tom Brady was not necessarily like the top of the litter when it came down to quarterbacks, but he made Tom, with whatever scheme, we talk about scheme quarterbacks, he made Tom great because he was able to create a scheme for Tom to make him look great.
So that's the million-dollar question that has been going on since 2000, since they've become the dynasty that they have over the last, almost 20 years. Is it Brady or is it Belichick? Is it the quarterback? Is it the system? Is it a combination of the two?
I think it's a combination of the both. I think the quarterback doesn't become the quarterback without the system.
I mean, the cheating didn't hurt.
No. But I mean, here's the thing. Think about Carson Wentz. Think about Nick Foles. If you don't have a guy, if you still have Chip Kelly here, they ruined that kind of talent because the scheme that Chip Kelly has does not fit the type of
Disgrace to the last name he is.
Yes, he is. But listen, he's suffering in UCLA. Let the man alone.
He's on 4 now, right?
Yes.
I don't want to go down the Chip Kelly band,
The rabbit hole, yeah, buddy.
But I mean, like he became his own worst enemy. I mean, he was all about this up tempo, blah 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 blah. You had the fastest guy on the team, Deshaun Jackson, and you let him go. Like I just never understood that.
And then you had the most elusive running back when you let him go.
That's what shot down Nick Foles' whole system. You had all these tall wideouts. That's great, but you had no one to make it deep there. No one to take
the top off. Yeah, nobody to take the top off the defense. And just, God, I still have nightmare. And we won the Super Bowl, and when I hear his name, I still, like Sideshow Bob. I still get that feeling in my bones.
I mean, that's why I'm saying like it's scheme, it's coach scheme with quarterback, and when you have that great pairing, you start to see greatness. I mean, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, like that scheme works for him. Peyton Manning, when he just gets put in a scheme where he can run the show, he has a great game. He has a great situation.
Yeah, Willie Guns just wrote trade Foles to the Niners.
I heard my uncle was saying this. He's a great part of our show.
He's a big Niners fan, your uncle, isn't he?
No, my mom is.
Mom is.
But speaking of which, I heard that the Foles are interested in Nick Foles.
The Niners are interested in Foles.
That's what I've been hearing.
Shout out to a listener of ours, Johnny B, who had made a bet on air about how the Niners would make the playoffs with Jimmy G.
The guy went down with an ACL though.
Listen,
but it's not like you said. The Niners are going to the playoffs this year. You said the Niners are going to the playoffs with Jimmy G. Well, the key contributing factor isn't there. So
well, guess what?
You can't hold the guy to that. I guess you can.
I sure can. If it's my rules, bitch, I can hold it to him.
Well, look, we got enough time.
Feet to the fire.
I got enough time for one more question to ask you guys. I think I got a couple of minutes left here. So with Clyde Simmons and Seth Joyner being inducted into the Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Fame this past Sunday, you guys got one player out there that you would vote in who's not in there already? I got one. Trent Cole's my vote. Trent Cole, man, he's put up numbers as an Eagle that not a lot of people have.
Oh, man. See, I'm going to actually put a shout out and kind of put someone on blast. I would put Hollis Thomas in just for that hit on Mike Vick. Just for that hit on Mike Vick.
I hear you.
Because Hollis
I'm still thinking. I mean,
I would say Hugh Douglas.
I was thinking Hugh earlier today.
I'm with Joe. I want to go Hugh Douglas.
Nice. So Pat and James are both on the same page here. Well, look, like we were telling Pat while we were,
What about Runyon? I'm sorry.
I think he's all right. I think he might be.
Is Runyon already in?
I'm not sure.
He deserves it if he's not.
I know the aforementioned word.
Big John deserves
Trey
it.
Thomas too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The O-line, if we're going to give some love to
Mike Mamula.
to the D-line, we have to give them
Yes, absolutely. Well, look, so we were telling Pat, time flies when you're on the show, man. The hour's already up. So for Pat from Ambler, coming in with us, coming in studio.
Pat, what's your social media?
Yeah. You let the folks out there know so they.
Hey, listen, you can look me up on Instagram, Pat from Ambler. You can look me up on Twitter, Pat86Bernard. You can look me up on Facebook as Pat Bernard. Just follow me, hit me up as a friend or anything.
Nice.
So just request me. So anything you want to do, just hit me up. I'll be willing to answer you.
You got it. So for James Scorza, for Pat from Ambler, for Joe Marks, Taylor behind the glass, Will Lynn and Rob Swavely, I'm Tom Kelly, and we're out. Woo! That's quality fade outage right there. Fucking Joey crushing beers had to pee for the last hour.
I just like a voice myself, man.
He ran in there. James, you threw some.
Yeah, I got it, man.
You're a beautiful human.
Oh my god. I thought it was gonna come to puck talk.
Ah,
Man,
dude.
Tom, thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks for coming out, man. Like I said,
man.
what's that?
So you have a good time, man?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I thought I was gonna have a nice hour puck talk.
Dude, and you know what? Sometimes the show takes those turns.
Yeah.
It just depends on the day.
Who's a good puck man too? Pat Egan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a tiny little thing, but yeah, he's a good puck man. Him and was it? I got what's called number too. Stazak.
Is that? Yeah, I think I seen a picture on
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
your social media accounts of you and Stazak.
The big dog.
It's gonna be weird, man. Taylor, were they all joking that the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show mushed Gargano?
Yeah.
Well, did they really say that? Well, the one guy, like you had gone, I don't know if you went to the bathroom or something. The one guy from in back came and sat, and it seemed like he was listening to the interview.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
And, you know, we were, dude, nobody had any idea it was coming down the pipe. Come to find out, it was, like, you know, ratings related, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
I already was fifth. I was like, oh.
yeah, I already was fifth, too.
Oh man.
Well,
Fifth in the market, so,
Oh, okay.
like Angelo, so I don't think it's just sports talk.
Okay.
Because Angelo was second in the entire market for that time slot. And then Gargano was fifth.
Who's missing only one?
No, for that time slot, yeah.
Preston Steve.
Preston and Steven, yeah, they're going to be number one.
and I got Nick McElwain's number in my phone. So, he's the one that gave me help when it came.
Why don't you
down
suck
to
his cock, Joe? all
Yeah,
right?
that's it. That too. But we keep that low key, you know. Yeah, we don't try to.
What happens in the studio stays in the studio.
Yeah, you know. What
That's
happens in MMR stays in MMR.
Yeah.
Joey, stop the camera. They got me cursing on camera. Look. I forgot it was still rolling.
Well, we also just admitted that I have an affair with Nick McElwain. Sorry, Nick.